Hey everyone, and welcome back to Listen and Learn. I am so excited for today's deep dive
Me too.
because we're tackling something I know a lot of you are thinking about, and that's speaking English with more confidence.
It's such a common goal.
Right. Like how to really sound like you own the language.
Absolutely.
And we actually have some great notes to work with today from one of our listeners, all about common English phrases.
Yeah, those are so important.
They really are, and I think getting a handle on these can be a total game changer.
It's like, yeah, you unlock a secret level or something.
Totally. Okay, so the listener's been super organized and broke these phrases down into different
Oh,
categories.
nice. That's helpful.
Yeah, so we've got greetings, small talk, asking for help, like all those everyday situations you find yourself in.
It's like a roadmap almost.
I love that. And what I'm noticing as we go through these is,
What's that?
well, that these phrases, they
Mhm.
might seem simple on the surface, but often they're these like layers of meaning you might not realize.
Oh, for sure, especially when it comes to cultural context.
Exactly. Okay, so why don't we jump right in, starting with greetings.
Okay, let's go.
We all know the classic, hi, how are you?
Right.
But the notes point out some other really useful ones.
Right, what?
Well, what's up? For example,
Good one.
it's casual, it's versatile.
Definitely more than just slang.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't use it in every situation.
Totally. Like, I wouldn't say what's up to my boss,
Probably not the best choice.
but with friends,
Yeah.
it's perfect.
Exactly. And it's interesting how something as simple as, how have you been, can have a different vibe.
Oh, in what way?
Well, it kind of implies you haven't seen the person in a while.
Oh, I see. Versus just a quick, how are you?
Right, you're signaling more of a, genuine interest in catching up.
Oh, that's a good point. I've never really thought about it that way.
Yeah, the subtleties can be fascinating.
They really can. And don't even get me started on the power of a simple, it's nice to meet you.
That one goes a long way.
It really does. Okay, so we've got the greetings down.
What's next?
How about keeping the conversation going? That dreaded small talk
Ah, yes, the art of small talk.
where a lot of people get nervous.
I know, I used to.
Me too.
Yeah.
But, having a few go-to phrases can make it so much easier.
For sure.
Like you can't go wrong with what do you do or where are you from?
Classics for a reason.
Right. But it's not just about the questions
What
themselves.
else is there?
It's also about how you respond.
Oh, yeah, like active listening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine someone tells you what they do and you just say, okay,
Kind of shuts down the conversation.
right. But even a simple, that's interesting, shows you're engaged.
And it encourages them to keep talking.
Totally. And then there's, of course, the trusty weather.
Ah, yes, the universal conversation starter.
How's the weather today?
I know. It seems basic.
But it works.
It really does. Have you ever noticed how people, just open up when you talk about the weather? It's amazing.
It's true. It's something everyone can relate to.
It's...
And then, boom, you can branch out from there.
Yeah, this weather makes me want to go to the beach. Do you like the beach?
Exactly. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
feeling more confident already.
That's great.
But what about those situations where you need help, like directions in a new city?
Ooh, that can be stressful.
Right.
But a few key phrases can be lifesavers.
Like,
Well, something polite and direct, like, could you help me, please?
well, good one.
And if you don't understand something, don't be afraid to say, excuse me, could you repeat that?
Yeah, I always worry about sounding rude if I do that.
But it's totally fine. Most people are happy to help if you ask politely.
Okay, that's good to know. And then, of course, always end with a sincere, thank you so much for your help.
Always. Gratitude goes a long way.
It really does.
Yeah.
I'm feeling more prepared to handle those tricky situations now.
That's the goal.
It is.
Welcome back to Listen and Learn.
It's great to be back.
I'm really enjoying this deep dive.
Me too. It's fascinating stuff.
And I think this next part is where it gets really practical,
Oh, how so?
Well, we're going to be looking at those, everyday phrases that keep conversations going.
Like those little responses that make you sound more natural.
Exactly. And then we'll tackle saying goodbye like a pro.
Ooh, I need help with that one.
Don't worry, we've got you covered.
Okay, so casual responses. Let's start there.
Sounds good.
Looking through the notes, I'm seeing some, real gems here.
Like what?
Well, that sounds great. For example.
Oh, yeah, classic.
Right. It's such a simple way to show you're enthusiastic.
And you can use it in so many different situations.
Totally. But you know what I've noticed? It's all about the tone of voice, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You can say, that sounds great, with genuine excitement.
Or, Total sarcasm.
Exactly. The words are the same, but the meaning can be totally different.
It's amazing how much tone of voice matters.
It really does. Okay, what else do we have?
I see.
That's a good one.
It's like you're acknowledging what someone said, but you're not necessarily agreeing or disagreeing.
Yeah, it's neutral but keeps the conversation flowing.
Exactly. And then if you want to like ramp up the enthusiasm,
Yeah,
there's always, really? That's amazing.
I love that one. It's like a verbal high five.
It is. And sometimes, you just don't know the answer.
It happens.
And it's okay to just say, I'm not sure.
Oh, totally. Better to be honest than to pretend you know something you don't.
So true. And then when you're ready to commit to a plan,
Let's do it.
exactly. There's no mistaking that one.
Okay, so we've got the casual responses down.
Now, what about saying goodbye? I feel like I always struggle with this.
Yeah, it can be tricky.
Like, goodbye and bye are fine.
Yeah, but they can be a bit, I don't know, plain.
Right. So what are some other options?
Well, take care is nice.
It does have a warmer feel to it.
It shows a bit of concern, like you care about the person.
I like that.
And have a great day. It's always cheerful.
It is. Okay, those are good.
What about more informal situations?
Hmm.
Talk to you soon, or see you next time. Work well.
Oh, yeah, they're more casual.
And they imply that, you'll be seeing the person again.
It's like you're already planning the next interaction.
Exactly. It's those little touches that can make a big difference.
I'm learning so much. Okay, so we've covered greetings, small talk, asking for help, even saying goodbye.
We're making progress.
But how do we actually make these phrases stick?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Like I can memorize them,
Yeah.
but how do I actually use them naturally in conversation?
Well, the notes mention a few things: podcasts, speaking aloud, even role-playing.
So it's all about active practice.
It seems like it. What are your thoughts?
I've always found that immersing yourself in the language is key.
Oh, for sure.
Like listen to podcasts, have conversations with native speakers, watch movies, read books.
It's about surrounding yourself with English as much as possible.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Oh, that's so important. Everyone makes mistakes.
It's how we learn. The key is to just keep practicing,
Couldn't agree more. The more you use these phrases, the more natural they'll become.
I like that. All right, welcome back to Listen and Learn, everyone. It's the final part of our deep dive into these common English phrases.
I can't believe we're already here.
Right. It's flown by, but we've covered so much good stuff.
We have greetings, small talk, asking for help, like so much.
And even how to say goodbye properly.
It's amazing how much you can say with just a few key phrases, isn't it?
It really is. Okay, so what do we have left to explore in these notes?
Well, there are a few more categories I think would be really useful.
Oh, like what?
Let's talk about expressing opinions.
Okay, yeah, that's important.
It is. It's how you engage in those, more meaningful conversations.
Right, and how you share your thoughts and ideas.
Exactly. So things like, I think, or, in my opinion.
They're good starting points.
They are, and they make it clear you're sharing your viewpoint.
Okay, I like that.
And then for preferences, you can use I prefer or I'd rather. Simple, but effective.
Totally. It doesn't have to be complicated.
So true. Now, what about when you agree or disagree with someone?
Ah, good one. You want to be respectful, but also clear.
Right, so how do you do that?
Well, for agreeing, you can keep it simple with I agree, or you're right, or even that's a good point.
Those all work.
They do. Now, disagreeing is a bit trickier.
Yeah, you don't want to come across as rude.
Exactly. So you might say something like, I see your point, but...
Oh.
Or, I understand what you're saying, however.
I see. So you're acknowledging their perspective, but still expressing your own.
Right. It's all about finding that balance.
This is great. I'm definitely going to be using these.
Awesome. And don't forget about those phrases for, like, when you need clarification.
Well, those are essential.
Yeah.
What if you're not sure you understood something correctly?
Exactly. So things like, could you explain that again? Or what do you mean by?
Those are lifesavers.
They are. And you could also say, I'm not sure I understand, or ask someone to clarify. Right. And it's always good to, summarize what you've heard to make sure you're on the same page.
Oh, that's a great tip. So you might say, so if I understand correctly.
Yeah. Or let me see if I've got this right.
Perfect. It shows you're actively listening and making an effort to understand.
I like that. Okay. So we've covered tons of specific phrases.
We have.
But are there any, general tips you have for improving spoken English overall?
Well, I think listening is huge.
Oh, for sure. Like listening to podcasts.
Podcasts, movies, TV shows, anything in English, really.
It's all about exposing yourself to the language.
Right. And don't underestimate pronunciation.